All right, Jets. It's time. Time to pack it up. Time to finally pack this garbage up. I don't care if Rodgers comes back. I don't care if Jesus just came back. Just to tell you guys to get your shit together. It's enough. It's enough. I'm sorry. I've seen enough. We've all seen enough. Enough is a... Yeah, that's how enough it is. Because after your last game against Miami, on the Black Friday game, it just showed that you guys are just an abysmal football team. A Hail Mary. Pick six. The last throw of the half. And two abysmal, incompetent quarterbacks that barely have the confidence of the head coach to enforce deep balls. A predictable running game. And an over-reliance. I swear, fans, you don't even have to be a Jets super fan to catch all the names on the defensive line. The whole defensive team of the Jets. Hell, I bet people know the special teams more than they know the Jets offense. Other than Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, there's no in between. The lineman that's incompetent or injured, inconsistent quarterback play, or poor. And now they're pushing over 4-7, only 2 games up over the New England Patriots. Over what was expected to be a more competitive AFC East division. The Bills been getting inconsistent. Very inconsistent after their overtime loss when they were trailing over by 13 against the... Oh my god, that game was so bad. When they were trailing over by 13 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now putting over a 10-1 record. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure after pushing over 4 straight, their longest streak was only a 3-game winning streak when they fell over that overtime win against the Giants. And then it gets snuffed when they only trailed over 14. They have more field goaling scores. Greg Zuerlein has scored more points over the total of starts that Zach Wilson had for majority of the season after Aaron Rodgers missed. And Tim Boyle only got 2 passing touchdowns. I swear, for the past 3 weeks, for the past 5 weeks, the new starting quarterback for the New York Giants has accumulated more passing touchdowns than the 2 quarterbacks for the Jets over the past 5 weeks. And this after Daniel Jones was out. Tommy DeVito has been more effective. He has 7 over Daniel Jones. Over 3 passing touchdowns. With a QBR that's actually exceptional. Over 92%. Over just his last 3 starts. With a better win percentage than Tim Boyle and Zach Wilson put together. It's embarrassing. And I don't know what's the mentality. Look, I understand the Jets were coming in with a defense better than their offense. Michael Carter off a poor hamstring. They have depleting the midfield off their linebacking core. And losing Carter does deplete their back, trying to stop their deep ball threats. But they were still able to close off over the second half, only trailing by 10 points. And then Tyreek Hill scored over another one. The only effective stop they had over Tua was getting that gash on his arm. They were getting destroyed over on the deep ball. Too many defensive moves to count. In handoff over on the midfield. Handoff, ISO formation over in the midfield. First, second and 10. Flats over second and 10. Over to the... It is conservative high school varsity bullshit. In the pro level. What is Robert Saleh coaching this team with? I want to push over Nathaniel Hackett, but Saleh obviously doesn't have that much of infringement over in the offensive side of the ball. When your offense should be on the field more than your defense. It's sad. You're seeing them push over 3 and outs, 4-and-outs over in the third quarter. They were pressing over at the 45, and it's like, screw it, we'll still add a more positive yardage. Like, no, you cannot. They can barely push over a basic curl over Tim Boyle when they were benching Zach Wilson for this game. He was edging out over a curl to Wilson, and I saw 3 Dolphins players catching over the primary receiver up the gap, and he still threw it. And Tim Boyle is more experienced than Zach Wilson. There's been competent backup quarterbacks that's had higher winning percentages than freaking both quarterbacks on the Jets. Joshua Dobbs, Drew Lock, even Geno Smith, that became an incompetent third string, has done well for the Seahawks. Baker Mayfield. Come on, man. It's poor. It's poor offensive football. And even if they hinge over to a playoff spot, it's just inconsistencies over on the offensive side. Because the defense, when the defense is on the field, they get more fatigue. They were pressing over 3-and-outs. They got a turnover on downs over the opening scoring drive for the Miami Dolphins over Sauce Gardner stopping off a fade for Tyreek Hill. Defense can get play makes done, but when they're on the field more, they get fatigued. They get elusive. They break over tackles. These guys can't properly wrap up, and you saw that around the second half. It's just bullshit football, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just glad I wasn't at MetLife. I was only at MetLife for one time when the Jets were actually playing a decent enough on offense. And I think that was the last game until like the second to last game before Mecole Hardman went back over to the Chiefs, where he's actually getting the ball more. Because Wilson can't throw. And they still ended over unanswered 14 around the half. Over that pick 6, Brandon Eichels got. Zerline just thought it was great. You know what? Maybe it's good to miss a kick once in a while. Then Jason Sanders got a pick 6 around. No, it was Javon Holland that just returned over a 98-yard interception off a Hail Mary over their own end zone. And we didn't get anything until Garrett Wilson caught the ball over Tim Boyle. Then Mostert dropped a 34-yarder with like nobody wrapping him up. And then infringement, penalty, miss over in the drive. Like it was so minimal. Varsity football, mid predictable rushing schemes over the flats, conservative passing. It is shit. Jets, and you're just handcuffed to the middle to even put over for a washed Aaron Rodgers. Then you got Atlanta, Houston. Houston would smoke you with a rookie quarterback. C.J. Stroud has been outstanding this season. Even closing over to their loss, they totaled more points over just one game. Over Jets have had total points on offense for the past 6. Just trash. The defense has scored more than the special teams. Even got more positive yardage in the offense for the New York Jets. Then they got the Dolphins on the road. Then a 2 straight road trip against the Patriots, and the Browns still trying to fight over a playoff spot. Just the minimal amount of playoff football that you guys even had after you guys had that Monday night loss against the freaking Los Angeles Chargers. Then you turn down a peg, even though the Bills are mid, they are still one of the highest scoring teams in football. Now, I feel like Cordero Patterson could smoke you. C.J. Stroud will get career highs with you. And then Tua's going to even get a 7-arm and still drop 4 passing touchdowns on you. And then I don't even know what not Sam Boyle. It's Sam Hoyle. I swear Sam Hoyle will look like he's Alex Smith before the injuries. And I don't know if it's got to come to a different regime and a different culture shift. Because I know Saleh, this is his first head coaching stint after having his reputable defensive coordinating system. And I feel like he just needs to go over to the coordinating shtick again. Or he can take over for a more bottom-feeding team like the Panthers. Build over their team because they got a worse record than the Jets. I just feel like Saleh's not in the fortitude to be a coach. Or at least not for this team. You got an incompetent, of course, not confident quarterback that barely has the skill level to develop over a pro level in his, third or fourth year in the NFL. Stuck with a washed out of his prime Packer quarterback for the second time in Jets history. Jesus Christ. And, of course, a reputable, young, aggressive, hungry defense that just gets too fatigued to run over in the second half when the offense can't move the ball. You can't have that, man. And I like Breece Hall. They got playmakers, but not enough. Oh my God. I wish I had some positives to say. I really did, but there's nothing to be said. Incompetent coaching makes for an incompetent team, and when you're trying to at least be a competent offense, bro, even the Denver Broncos, after even getting 70 points of total offense on their head, losing by 50, they've closed up and at least won 5 out of the last 6 after starting the season 1-5. So, changes can be made even with a slow start, but the Jets just came over, started off hot, and now they're back to not. I don't know what to say. That's it for me. Like, comment, subscribe for more. We'll be back with further content. Subscribe to the DST show. I'm going to take my Tylenol.